Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I invite my friend Kara and Garrett to join me here today to share their current experience at Scotiabank's corporate banking. So it's my first time to invite two friends together, so I will just go to behind the scene and you guys can just watch those two fantastic people. So we will just start it right now. Okay, thanks. So could you guys just briefly introduce yourself first for us? Okay, start from whoever you want.
Yeah, do you want to go first?
Okay, so my name is Carol. I am a second year MBA student at McMaster. Right now I'm doing my second co-op term at Scotiabank as a Corporate Banking Analyst. For my first co-op, I was working at the Ministry of Economic Development as a program advisor. And yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, so I'm Garrett. I'm also second year MBA student at McMaster with Carol. I spent my first co-op in commercial banking at Laurentian Bank before coming over to do corporate banking at Scotiabank.
Okay, great. Thanks guys. So I know the recruitment process for Scotiabank is a little bit different. Can you guys just maybe briefly touch about how did you guys get hired for this role?
Yeah, I can start a little bit into that one. So the first step that I went through before getting hired into this role was going to some of the larger group sessions that some of the recruiters host that get posted, various places online, just where they invite a bunch of potential candidates. They have some people who are currently in positions to talk about what the job is like, and then the recruiters also give you some contact info and some next steps. So I attended one of those events first. After that, I got some of the info of a recruiter, got into touch, was able to talk one-on-one a little bit with a recruiter before they suggested that I apply to this job, and then kind of went through the regular application process after that.
Okay, so as Garrett, I also attended some virtual events, which are very helpful because you get to know a little bit more about the company and all the opportunities that they have. Something very special about the Scotiabank is that you don't need to give them, you don't need to present your resume. Also, you don't need to do a cover letter. You just have a long profile, and then you have to do a video interview with, I think, 4 questions.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that's how my process started.
So how long is your guys' interview with the hiring manager? Half an hour?
Half an hour, yeah, for me. And I had 2 people interviewing me.
Okay. Yeah, mine was also half an hour as well. I interviewed with 2 of the directors on the corporate banking team.
Okay, sounds good. Can you just share what you are doing on your daily basis for us?
Yeah, definitely. So Carol and I both work on the credit analytics group within corporate banking. And then within credit analytics group, we both work on different industry group teams. So I specifically deal with real estate companies, mining companies, gaming and leisure companies, and power and utility companies. So day to day, the banking team, which works a little bit more one-on-one with the clients, will reach out to our team in order to have some financial statements spread or to get a risk rating for some sort of project they're working on. So those requests come through, and then day to day I spend a lot of time analyzing financial statements, spreading financial statements, writing comments, that type of thing.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm just going to add to that I'm working on team 2, and we have financial institution groups. So I receive entities like pension funds, hedge funds, fund managers, like that kind of thing. And we do exactly the same, we have the same relationship with banking. We also do spreading and rating, and we have to do a lot of research about those entities to complete all the assessment.
Got it. Great. So what kind of skills would be necessary for your role and you think people should have before they apply this role?
Okay, so I can start.
Yeah, sure.
So I would say that at the beginning you have to be, I think that something very important is that you show that you have interest for capital markets and that you follow the news, you are aware of economic trends and all that. For my specific role, I would say that you need analytical skills and you have to be very detail oriented because we have to spread numbers and also we have to source everything we find, everything we are saying, we have to source it very carefully. So yeah, I would say those are the 2 main skills.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Financial statement analysis is super, super important because I think that's what we probably both spend the majority of our day doing, just kind of combing through. You really need to know within these large financial statements what the important info is, what the non-important info is that you don't need to focus on as much. And then just to kind of echo what Carol said, attention to detail is super, super important. You know, as she said, you have to source all the information you pull. And sometimes it's just like a little footnote in a financial statement. So you have to be able to find the info you need and then write about it.
Cool, great. Right now, like you guys are close to the end of this term. I just hope you can share something you like during your term here at Scotia. It could be like with a company, or it could be with your job.
Yeah, so I'll go first. I'll kind of say about Scotia in general. So one of the really nice things I've experienced since I've been at Scotia is how they treat their interns. There's a ton of different events that they host in order to have everyone get to know each other or get to know higher ups within your department. So specifically, we were lucky enough at the start of our term to do like lunch and learn sessions, they call them. So they provide us lunch and we're able to get some one-on-one time with different directors from some of the banking teams who we work with one-on-one, or we work with day to day, but we don't necessarily get to talk to them a little bit more casually. So that was something that I specifically really enjoyed with Scotia.
Yeah, well, I have to say that I really enjoyed that. Like you will see that the company have different social events to let you get to those higher positions, and also learn from them and see where you want to go. So I think that that's very important from a professional point of view. And also, like, I don't know, like in our teams, like our directors are very open to any questions. Also, the analysts are very supportive, so I can say that we have like a very good working environment, even though sometimes we have like very high workload.
Yeah.
So it's still very important to keep that balance, even though we're busy and a little bit stressed about things, but we can still make questions and get to people to get our work done.
Yeah, definitely.
So anything you think you have like take away from your term right now here when you spend like 4 months in the corporate banking?
Yeah, so one for me is just little kind of like what I said earlier, but comfort with financial statements. I can pretty quickly now take a look into like a large corporate client's financial statements and kind of understand it a little bit better. Where I'd say going in, there was a lot in those financial statements that I didn't understand or didn't know why it was in there, or what kind of service it provided.
Yeah.
But I definitely can say now, after spending 4 months kind of looking through these and writing comments and analyzing them, definitely quicker, and I understand them a little bit better.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that better understanding financial institutions group, because the first task that I got was on a pension fund, and I was like, what is that? Like, how am I gonna start with this? So at the beginning, it was very confusing, and everybody was saying like, this is the easiest one to do. So I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. But now, like, I understand a little bit more what is a pension fund, what is a hedge fund, like all those names that sounds like very professional and financial. So I think that's like the best thing that I'm taking from this role and this position. Yeah.
Yeah, great. I work with Carol for a lot of clients. When I first joined here, I'm the same feeling about different financial institutions. Yeah, but right now, like almost all the financial institutions around the world who has business with Scotia, like we need to touch bases with those. So it's definitely a good takeaway with different market participants in the world here. Yeah. So I think we are close to the end. Is there any like last tips you want to share with people who want to apply for an intern co-op in Scotiabank Corporate Banking? Or maybe any other corporate bankings?
Yeah, well, I would say that like to get the attention of the recruiters, you really need to attend those virtual or in-person events if you have the opportunity to do so, and also follow the news. I think it's very important that you show that you kind of understand what is going on, and you can show that like in your conversations with them through questions, and also just showing that you are very interested in capital markets and all that. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I agree with those for sure. And I'd say in addition to that too, if you're up for an interview for a position, or if there's a position you want, definitely do a lot of research into it. I found applying for jobs, the banks specifically post a ton of different positions with titles that you have no clue what they mean, and job descriptions that seem very vague. So really doing your research into what that position is, even if you could talk to like a former student who's been in that position or somebody on the team to really understand what they do, that'll only help you in the interview.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why I opened this series in my channel. So I invite people to share the experience for different roles with the different organizations, so people can know more about this role instead of just looking at the job description. I know it's
So bad.
I know, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool, great. Yeah, I think that's it.
Cool.
Okay, thank you guys so much, and thank you for your watch. Just remember to like the videos if you like, and comment what you want to know more about different organizations and different roles. Okay,
Thanks,
thank you.
guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Bye.
Bye.